the YouTube right there. There we go. Did I have the wrong date? Did I not change it? Oh, my bad. Yeah, it's a mistake. There we go. So yeah, until then, now we do have a lot of volatility coming up here. We've got OPEC, CPI, a lot of stuff coming out the next 2 weeks. So this is the relative calm before what we're going to see as an uptick in volatility coming up the next couple of weeks. That's what happens with the CPI data. And whether or not we fly up to 4,200 or drop to 3,400, that's up to CPI and that's up to the data points. So unfortunately, that's completely out of control. It doesn't matter what we have in our charts. So it's just play what comes. Keep yourself appropriately position sized and safe until those big moves come. And then whether or not we range up or down, we'll take advantage. All right, so right now we have got tech is pretty much trading flat. The same thing going into the bell. The same thing with ES. We've been chopping around here since about 9 o'clock, so about 30 minutes. And right about 38.86. So we'll see what comes. 3,900. Look for continuous pressure between 3,900 and 3,910. If we head upwards. Yeah, energy is coming back up. So oil is making another push, which is another heavy indicator on the market there, because those increasing oil prices is no bueno. Especially with CPI coming up. Even though the CPI is forward looking, this will affect the next CPI posting. Yeah, so Bookmap's got a large level of 38.90. They actually removed everything at 3,900 and 3,910, and they've got some stuff lower. I'll give a zoomed in posting and a zoomed out posting. There's a zoomed in, and then we'll zoom out here a little bit more, and this is what we got zoomed out, and that is ES. And the Nasdaq has got a larger level of 12,300, and that's pretty much it. There's not all that much liquidity there. All right, so we got 13 seconds till the market open here. I'm going to bring up SPX contracts. I'm going to bring up an at-the-money contract here. I don't really necessarily know where this thing is going to go, especially in the first 10, 15 minutes here, so we'll see. We will see. All righty, there's the bell. Start the day off. Amazon's dumping at Tesla, Apple, all got a nice large red candle here coming on down. And let's see here. All right, so green candle up to 38.90. Green across the board on tech. They are coming back up. And I'm going to bring up at the money position 38.90s, and that's why all I have to do is flip over puts, calls, and play whichever I need to. So I'm going to play at the positions here to see how this thing comes out. Green candle to start the day off, top wicking right now on ES. Taking a look at the NASDAQ, they have a red candle. XLF has a small green. Let's take a look at the bonds. Bonds dropped significantly in pre-market, and now it looks like they're trying to come on back down. 10-year yields are back up to 3.05, and the 2s is 3.1, so definitely still inverted right now. Big old top wick candle here on ES. Muy interesante. Posted the YouTube link in the room there, so if you need that, click on that. What up, Matty? How you doing? What's up, YouTube? What's going on? All right, red candles across the board here. XLF is starting to. Keep an eye on XLF too, because that did have some bullishness there in pre-market. So keep an eye on that. Flip that red candle green on tech. I'll be playing pretty light today. In the midst of all of this choppiness and resistance and Unknowns, I'll be playing pretty light today going into next week. Not to mention it's the weekend coming up, so we're not sure how they're going to respond to that. Are they going to dump this thing to take profits before a very hectic week next week or what? So I'll be playing a little lighter today. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to fight the chop that we've had. Yesterday was incredibly low volume. If you look back on the daily charts, it was one of the lowest volume nodes we've had in 6 months on a very, very green day across the board. So tech is starting to respond here. Bullishness. XLF is green, coming back up. Apple's green. Amazon got a little green here still, but once again, this is a very indecisive candle. Came on down, top wicked, came up, now bottom wick, then top wicked. Very indecisive. Now it's pretty much an entire wick candle right there. Netflix looking dumpy. Nice. I haven't looked at that chart in a while. I've got 38.90 calls up, but I can flip those over to puts anytime. See how this thing goes here. Still no plays. We're just watching this thing. Yeah, NASDAQ, both NASDAQ and ES are both pretty indecisive at the moment. Now we're starting to find a way here. Starting to find a little point. A lot of top wicks here. Keep an eye across the board, though. The VIX is coming off here, 2602, after coming up to 2660. Not a lot of movement there in the VIX. And still pinned right where we are. Anybody got any big weekend plans this weekend? What are we doing? What are we doing? Beach, gym, work. I like it. Studying charts. There you go. There you go. All right. So there's a ton of liquidity on Bookmap between 3,900 and 3,880, which is pretty much what we saw yesterday too. Just right there, just chopping right in between. So going up to my property in Tennessee to work on the road. Nice, Nate. What part? Oh, you don't have to tell me. Charts and golf. Love golf. So a couple of strong green on Apple, a couple of strong green on Tesla. Amazon's coming up. XLF is red and flat. Large. All right, so we got tech starting to come along here through R1. We're kind of opening right in between R1 and S1, which is perfect. It's right where I want us to come out at. And it looks like we're going to try to break R1 at the moment. I've got calls up and ready. Be ready for an entry if we break higher here. I'll scalp a call to the upside, maybe even up to R2. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. We will see. Big green across the board. Tesla screaming. Apple screaming. Amazon's coming up. I'm looking for XLF to kind of rotate. If XLF rotates to the upside along with tech, then we'll probably at least hit R1 or 2. Or I'm sorry, R2. We already hit R1. Yeah, there's zero decisiveness, and that is not just with us too. This whole market is sitting on edge because they know that this is a data-driven market. That's why I'm telling you, I'm trying to slap every one of y'all in the face and say, stop with your predictions, stop with your with your bias, because it doesn't matter when you've got so much data coming out. It doesn't matter. You could front run the data, and whatever. If you're right, you're right, but you got to be careful. So remove all your bias. It's the best thing you could do for yourself right now is remove all your bias and play what you see. A lot of indecisiveness, and the market knows that. If you go back and look at the daily charts, which if you are tier 2, I posted a long write-up in the weekly game plan channel. So take a look at that. And I went out from the weekly and I zoomed in all the way to the 3-minute. And I did the chart analysis to figure out where this strong level of pivot is. And it's directly just above us. But it's taken this since June 16th is when we started this upward rally. June 16th, so almost an entire month of upward bullish action save for one candle. And it's been all wicks. Just slow grinding up little by little by little. We had one big green, but it was immediately sold back off on the daily chart, and we've just been slowly grinding, on decreasing or very little buying volume. What's weird is that we had way more green candles on the daily than red, yet the volume was predominantly red. Seller's volume overall on the day. So it's a little weird, which tells you there's a lot of indecision. The market doesn't want to pick a direction at the moment. Yes, it's been a bullish trend, but it's weird because I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green candles since then, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red selling candles. It's just weird. So a lot of indecisiveness for sure. Name of the game today. Big green candle right at the moment, or smaller, bigger green candle, I should say. And we're still chopping between 38.95 and 38.80. NASDAQ is going to touch higher. Plan for the week is to finish the David Goggins book, You Can't Hurt Me. Fantastic book. I might reread that book. We talk about it so much, it makes me want to reread it. All right, Apple's going higher. So this is the typical move we've been seeing on tech for the past couple of days, large green move. ES can't break out of R1 at the moment. I've got 3890 calls up and ready, just in case. VIX is coming off aggressively here. They went from 2660 down to 2580 on this move, and we're not moving yet. So indications with tech doing this, with now a green on XLF, and with VIX coming off, I think we might have at least a temporary move back up to pre-market levels. There it is. There's through the 50. The 50 simple moving average just went green. Booyah. Scalping calls 3890s. $38.96 on ES. Coming up to the 8 EMA. And let's see if we can come back up here. Tesla's up, Apple's up, Amazon's up, and going back up. Chop City. Chop City. Although traditionally the market does move upwards on lower volume because the huge spikes in volume come on the downtrends because that's when everyone's dumping everything. There's a lot of fear. And the upward grinds usually happen. In fact, like what Lee just said, it's pretty normal because that's a lower volume grind up. There are a couple of anomalies here, but that's pretty normal. And obviously yesterday having an extremely low volume, definitely something you want to be aware of. But it's not uncommon to see it grind up on lower volume. All that really indicates is a lack of seller participation. What's Bookmap on SPY? I never look at Bookmap on SPY just because it's so overloaded, and ES does just fine. ES runs the game, so. Nothing but green across Apple, Amazon, Tesla, Microsoft. XLF is coming on back down, so a strong bull move here, right back up to pre-market levels. All right. Amazon has got a level at 120. They've got liquidity all over the place. Still the major level at 100, but they've got a level at 120 and all around. Tech is still screaming. Nothing but green squeeze across the board on tech. So this is definitely a tech rotation here. This whole rally has been 100% tech. Tech has just been squeezing upwards. If you go back and look at the daily charts across all the major tech holdings, it's straight up. Amazon, Apple, Tesla, all of them. I think Amazon's up like 15% since last week. Something like that. So Apple's absolutely screaming right now. 146. They've moved up big time right now. Amazon's going up. Tesla's going up. All of tech is once again squeezing. So NASDAQ is powering up pre-market levels, and there we are, right back. So all that pre-market level, all that sell-off in pre-market is all gone. Now let's see what happens. So they came up, they matched that level. Now let's see what happens. Also, yesterday closed the first fourth day green candle since March. So 4 green days in a row, the first time we've done that since March, and now we got a 5th green candle forming. We'll see what happens with that. All right, so right back to pre-market levels, which is just under R2. Now, yesterday was the 4th. Today would be the 5th. Of course, I'm tracking ES on the daily stuff. Tesla's continuing its beast mode. Yesterday it was up almost 6%. Today it's already up almost a full point. Huge rally. Apple's just broke green. They're up 0.02%. Microsoft is down 1%, coming off. Yeah, order flow on futures are much more accurate because you could identify where the real big players are going to be. Not to mention, there are going to be fewer people playing ES than SPY. Everyone and their mom's playing SPY, whereas the big players are going to be playing ES. That's what's going to run the market. All right, so we got the book map shifted upwards. They put on 39.10, 38.90 on the old book map. Yeah, let's take a look at the Tesla book map too. Everything's much higher on book map on Tesla. So 750, 760 all the way up to, well, that's pretty much it. The 770 is the biggest level. And the downside, it's pretty scattered on the downside. They do have a large 650 level on Tesla on the downside, but that's way on down there. I would be surprised to see that anytime soon. VIX is coming off aggressively. There's their mid 25 level still, as the bulls are still very much in control. Still got the 38.90 calls up here. Amazon's coming off back down. This weekend will be our first of the July Zoom calls, by the way, for their Tier 2. It'll be Sunday, same time as always, and I'll post that in the room today. It'll be, 1600 Eastern. Or, I'm sorry, 1700 Eastern, 1300. Holy crap, I can't even talk. 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central Time. Will be on Sunday. And we're right back to R1. So yesterday it was R3 that we were pinned to all day, except for the last break, and then now it's R1 that we're pinned to this morning so far. How bad is Discord with Bluetooth? I haven't used it. Haven't used it. Can you trade ES on Webull? Couldn't tell you. If anybody has Webull and knows if you can trade ES on it, let me know, or let that person know. can't. Okay, Alpha Warrior says you can't. And right back to R1. Ah, big red on there on ES. Yeah, so once again, a day for fast scalping. That's what this is. That's what it's been all week. Just got to make a move. So that's a rejection right up there. We kind of got up, not quite to R2, but then we rejected and came down. XLE just got destroyed. Oil is rejected 105, came down to 103. That's why I'm telling y'all, man, you got to be quick ins and outs. You got to play small because we are on that choppy, indecisive zone. And until we break out or come off or we have the CPI come out, we got to be very careful. These are large movements, quick movements. XLF came on back down here as well, large red. Have a tough time getting filled. Yeah, when things are chopping around like this, you got to be quick. You got to be quick with your entries and your exits. All right, so Apple, Amazon, all coming off. XLF just put in a new low of the day. Tesla's still holding up there. Microsoft is down 1.4%. So a lot of heaviness starting to creep in a little bit right here on tech. The last holding up there is Tesla. Let's see if they can come on back down. Apple's coming off. Amazon's coming off aggressively. And a little bit of downside. You think Tesla puts? There's the R1. Pre-market lows is just above S2. S2. Boston comes out and says a 75% or 75 BPS is the most probable hike for CPI next or for CPI on the next FOMC for the posting next FOMC. So multiple job holders went up 239. Interesting. Interesting. I didn't even think about that part when we were analyzing that data this morning. XLF is getting pounded. Huge downside on XLF there. The bonds are coming off here as well, down to 112 and 38.77. My friend just paid to the website but can't see the voice stream. Have him DM me. We'll get it taken care of. Make sure that he linked his Discord as well. He's got a link through the Discord. Yeah, so full-time workers reduced 152, part-time reduced 326, and multiple job holders increased 239. That kind of that goes with the theme though of everything else. So we'll see. So Dow's coming off there. UNH is up. J&J Healthcare doing very green today. And that's on back down, almost to pre-market levels, down to S2. with Amazon just putting a new low of the day. They broke their pre-market levels. XLF is drilling. How come the price dropped 20 points and the premiums on the swing puts actually dropped? I didn't think Theta would smoke it that much. Yeah, I mean, Theta is going to start to come into more play the closer we get. The closer we get. So the more I'm doing the analysis on it, the way all of the big players are positioning themselves into puts for early to mid-August, whereas we took ours, obviously, the end of July, July 22nd. So our timing on the puts may have been a wee bit early. I may, if we end up closing the position, I'll look at closing and reopening another. I mean, if we flush, everything will be fine, yeah. But looking at additional position in the mid-August area. $38.74 red candles. All right, so Apple's coming off. Amazon new low. Now Tesla is even coming off here as well. What's up, Sean? How you doing? Extra strategy to cover a call with a put. I'm able to get some offer and profit. There you go, Damien. Well done. Well done. Closing. Yeah, that's all rolling is. Yeah, it's just a way for you. It's just a execution method. That's all rolling is an execution method. All right. Wish I could see the future. Yeah, me too. Right back, we're just above pre-market lows there. Looking at the old book map here. Come back to ES. They just put on a large level at 38.70, and we've got 38.60 below us. So liquidity here is pointing lower, but there is still a little bit up at 38.90 as well. They removed everything above 38.90 up until the mid 3900s, like 39.40 and 50. I don't see any ladders. No, I haven't seen one of those since last week. So XLF is still red. Tech is getting a little bit of a small green there. So if the VIX does manage to fall down into the lower 24s, you know, mid to low 24s there, obviously that would be bullish for us to bring back up. But I'd be looking at some long dated calls there as well. 22 would be super nice lurking. Would be super nice. But I don't know if we're going to get down that low. I don't know. We'll see. I thought they'd bring it up more today and dump over the weekend. Yeah, that data, the bringing in the data and pre-market, that's, you know, once again, you know, you can't predict data. Oh, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. Thanks for being here, too. Just left for 15 minutes. What happened? Yeah, we came on back down. So this is right back to the pre-market, the closed pre-market lows there. And they're figuring out where we're going to go. A lot of strength here across the board this morning, and then obviously these past three just brought it back down. I missed yesterday due to travel. Any updated bookmap discount for your subscribers? Bookmap, not yet. I have a call with bookmap next week to figure out what else we could do. Spot Gamma, yeah. In fact, they've got a lot of cool stuff. In fact, I don't even know if I've told you about that yesterday. So bookmap or Spot Gamma did give me another code for you all to get some money off of a potential subscription, as well as some of the hero indicators and the other academic plans that they've got going on. So I'll post all that stuff this weekend and let y'all take advantage of that if that's what you want to do. Cool dudes, super cool dudes. Trying to break above this S1 level. XLF is down, tech is up. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Always, I love y'all. Trying to give as much value as I can. I have an Apple put that's in the red that expired today. I've been hedging my loss, but looking for thoughts on when to exit. Man, this is a obviously everything's choppy and we're coming on down now where everything's going back up there. But I would be careful taking puts on tech at the moment. Tech is the reason why ES has done what we're doing. Tech, this is a rotation into the tech market up here, coming back up. So the time to short tech will be there as well as everything else. But right now, it's still very strong. Still very strong. Just like yesterday, like you're going to drive yourself crazy looking for puts in this market currently, because you're going to constantly be like, why is it bottom wicking? Why is it constantly every green? Like you'll see one red immediately flipped. So you got to be careful. The time for puts, for scalping day puts, will become, but you got to be careful. You pay but accidentally log into Discord on the website afterwards, so now it's making membership. Yeah, I'll get it. What do I expect for the next tech earnings? Yeah, we do have earnings season coming up here as well. Earnings season, which I don't know what to expect, honestly. I don't know. Obviously, we are in a recessionary market. GDP posted lower two times in a row, so officially we are in a recession. Amazon came out and said they're having a Prime Day. They're going to split it up into 2 different days. And you can interpret that data for what you weigh. And then, of course, Apple changed their subscription services to a hardware subscription, which is indicative of a recessionary market where they want to be able to offer their products in a way that people who can't necessarily afford them can get their products. So, yeah, they split Prime Day up into 2. They're going to do one this summer and going to do one later on this year as well. So I don't really know what to expect with earnings. I don't. I think either way, I'm going to play some strangles into the big players like Amazon. I usually always try to make an earnings play on Amazon. But we're in tumultuous time here. You know, not very many people have traded the recession that's coming right now, because the last time we've seen this type of levels was back in 2008, and I didn't trade 2008. So XLF drilling lower. Down to 38.73. Watch out for S2. And it's bought up. Big old bottom wick on that candle right there. And that's the stuff we've been seeing for the past week. All red candles are wicked, bottom wicked. Very, very stubborn buyers right here. So there's still strength. Do I normally play strangle for earnings? Yeah, a lot of the time I do. I like playing Amazon earnings. I've followed Amazon so much the past couple of years that I usually do pretty well on Amazon earnings for the most part. But who knows? We do not have an FOMC this month, but we do have CPI. CPI is on the 13th, Wednesday morning, and the CPI will be, or FOMC will be the next month. It'll be August. All right. Yeah, XLF is still dropping, holding the S&P down, whereas Nasdaq has a touch more support there. But yeah, we do get second quarter GDP. Yeah, it'll be the first estimate of second quarter GDP because now that the final estimate was Q1 was done last week, 2 weeks ago. So now it'll be the first estimate of GDP, and then they re-estimate that every quarter, and then they'll have the third time they'll have the final estimate. All right, Apple's coming on back up. Trying to, at least. A lot of top wicks, man. Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. If the first estimate's negative, it'll definitely be a market mover. So. Yeah, so the end of the month right there. So it's not the first week in August, it's actually the last week of July. So right there, yeah. So FOMC will be July 27th and 8th, or 2-day meeting July 26th and July 27th right there. The daily and SPY could just be double topping. Potentially, yeah. Potentially. But we need to see the buyers step out. The buyers are still defending key levels here. Still bottom wicking red candles. The price action is still supportive of right here, which is just over S2. So we need to see that give out if you want to look at taking puts. XLF going lower there. Tech is all still up here. Choppy action. Right in between S1 and R1. Dead flat. Dead flat in the open. Well, it's all low volume. It's just the volume is continually decreasing. Yesterday was the lowest of them all. We're entering that last part of the pattern. where we're either going to have that one big green trend and then flush, or maybe we flush now. I don't know. From a charting perspective, we're nearing the end of the pattern. You wouldn't touch this with your money? Well, good. I ain't touching this with my money either. Chillaxin'. So. The past couple of candles have been nothing but indecision, red-green. So you could front run this with a play, but at the moment there's no clear direction. To see if we could break down through S1 and come down to S2. And y'all are on the spot with when I minimize bookmap. So we got 38.70 lower on bookmap, and then all the way down to 38.57. 38.57. XLF is still going lower. Tech or XLF financials. Bonds are down and staying down. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm telling y'all, save your powder for next week. Save your powder. Don't sit here and get chopped up trading this crap. I know everyone wants to make a big trade, but right now there is no big trade to be made. Save your powder. CPI is coming. 13th. They posted. It comes out before the market opens on Wednesday. There's plenty of money to be made next week. Yep. So 8:30. It'll be released 8:30 on Wednesday. Mind showing bookmap on Square? Not at the moment. Not at the, I will later. What's your thesis for CPI and job data combined? How will the market view it? All depends on the data. Nice, Daniel. Well done. Well done. It all depends on the data. I mean, I can't predict what the data is going to post. Obviously, you can look at the analysts, but they're frequently wrong. Who knows? So CPI could post 9%. It could post 8%. And either way, it's going to move the markets. So I think one of the better plays to go with is a strangle. You take it on Tuesday afternoon, right before the bell closes. Take a strangle, and look for the move coming into Wednesday morning. And then right before the market opens, you can play futures, or right before the data hits at 8:30 Eastern on Wednesday morning, we can play futures, and or right after the data hits. Yeah, that's the big thing, is that last time they said CPI was very elevated because of the oil prices. Now that oil has come off down to 100, it was up to like 130 almost. That may adjust CPI. Although they're still analysts saying they expect CPI to post almost 9%. So who knows? Once again, I don't want to go chasing my tail on that. I have no control over it. So I'm just going to play what it posts. Put on a strangle right before and take advantage. Am I sitting on my hands all day? Not necessarily. I don't intend to take very many large positions. I'm just going to look for a move and try to play it. Yeah. It is definitely a month behind. It definitely is a month behind. Are they not pricing the move now for next week? Maybe. I don't know. When the data comes out, it all depends on how the data posts. It all depends on how the data posts. We always talk about the big overarching thing with data positions is that the market does not like unexpected data. The unexpected nature of the market, the unexpected nature of the data is what really drives in the volatility. So if it comes in 9.1% and no one expects that, then, I mean, our puts will freaking print. If it comes in at 7.5% and no one expects that, then, well, we'll have to take some calls. Right now, bookmap is implying lower, at least temporarily. You got 38.70, 38.65, and 38.60. A little bit of liquidity up here at 38.90, but the bigger stuff is definitely lower. Exactly, I wouldn't say exactly, but very closely, very similarly. Tesla, new high, squeezing. Apple's about to put a new high. Amazon's putting a new high. Coming back up. Tesla's up another 1.3% after being up 6% yesterday. So Tesla alone is about to put on a 10% week. So all greens are continually met with a little top wick there. Let's take a look. The Euro markets are split. Germans are up 0.5 and UK is up or down 0.26. So a little split in the Euro markets there too, indecision all over. If XLF puts on a green here with tech, we'll probably smoke right back to 3,900 pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. New highs on Apple. New highs on Tesla. Green candle on XLF. Yeah, and healthcare is very green. Oh my gosh. Y'all are crazy. All right, so we got 38.90 here on Bookmap. They are starting to put on a little at 3,900, and they're just kind of scattering liquidity up and down. Chop day. I would expect a chop day. Range, or I should say a range day. That's what I would expect. Except for Tesla. Tesla's going to the moon. Very bullish action in tech here. If we take out this 38.90 level liquidity, 3,900 will probably happen. At least 38.95. OECD is predicting, yeah, 9.2%. I'm gonna instead of repeating myself a whole bunch, I'm gonna do a write up on the puts and what my plan is today, and I'll stick it in the swing positions channel, just because I know people are gonna ask that question. So I'll write up a position right now. No mark, except the swings, obviously. Can you explain the difference between a debit spread and a credit spread if you have a video? All right, coming back up on green. Man, look at Tesla. Look at that. God, it's crazy. Apple's coming back up here. It's doing its own thing. 2%. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, so a credit spread is you're going to have a net credit. That is a a limited income strategy where, let's say, if you like, for example, right now, ES is currently sitting at 30, or SPX is currently sitting at 38.84, and you think we're either going to have a downturn or we're going to chop here, we're not going to exceed 39.10, you would put on, well, let's say a 39.40 call credit spread. And a call credit spread, you're saying if you take like a short leg at 39.40 and a long leg a little higher, let's say a 30 wide at 39.70, you're saying that the market will not exceed, close over that 39.40 leg today, the short leg. It needs to close. It needs to close below that number, outside of the money, and you collect that. Whereas a debit spread is a directional play you put on either up or down. So a debit spread obviously is called a debit because you're getting a debit, and the credit you're getting a credit. There you go, Viper. 38.88. All right, so still going higher there on ES. Wow, the euro just hit 2003 levels, or the split. Wow. Some more green, right back to R1. It is slow. It's very slow. It's very slow. A couple, a couple contacts, but I'm playing super light today. I am playing. I've got my guard up aggressively. I want to protect my week's profits. I'm not looking for anything crazy here. I'm just waiting for next week. I'm biding my time for next week. Protect your profits. I'm looking extensively for a high confidence setup for you all, but at the moment, I mean, I can't force a high confidence setup, and we're just kind of just pegged right here to R1. We're pegged. I don't think this is bullish or bearish. I think this is indecision. I think personally. Anybody looking for that XLE call? XLE is down big time right now. So Bookmap still has some lower liquidity and higher liquidity. 3,900 obviously is the main target that's been there all week. Still have a little 3870, and we can't really get above 30 R1 for very long. Yeah, credit spreads are fantastic in their way. They're fantastic. Ooh, another green here popping up. Credit. So keep an eye on XLF there. I want to make that comment. Watch XLF. They're down heavily. If XLF rotates back up, then we'll have our 3900 test. We'll have the first 39 or second 3900 test, and maybe even a 3910 test if XLF rotates up. So I'm going to set an alert here at 3206 for XLF. If I hear that alert, then I'm going to set another one at 3210. So if I start to see that rotate up, then definitely start looking for calls. Tesla's going new high of the day right there. Amazon and Apple are having kind of a little round over. I'm trying to look at, this is so choppy, I'm trying to look at as many charts as I can here to kind of get a front run of what's going on. To decide if I can catch a movement. The only way I'm going to be able to foresee that is if I see it happening in other sectors or in other markets before it's happening to the S&P. Yeah, the premiums on XLE are usually pretty low. Obviously, the volume, the participation in the X sectors are going to be less than the S&P, so you're going to have lower premiums like that. Not to mention they're only, XLE is only $70, so the premiums for a $70 ticker is going to be much lower. All right, XLF is coming back up. So I've got an alert on XLF. We're now above R1 again. We closed the candle above R1. I think we may have a test of 3900. We'll see. We'll see. It's got to go. I had no profits until I found your SPY options trading video last month. Nice. Appreciate it, Martin. And Nathan. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. All right. So we're above the 34 now. Things are looking a little bullish. At least temporarily. XLF is coming along here as well. Tesla is still nothing but green. Apple just put in a new high of the day. New high of the day. I think we're going to have our second 3900 test here. If they break that, 3905, but above that, there's not really any liquidity. So look for liquidity adds above 3,900. There's not really anything else above 3,900. It's going to take some oomph to get over that. All right, so XLF is recovering aggressively. So, and that's bringing definitely some buying momentum here. There's 3,900. XLF is climbing back up. I got another alarm at 32.15. Let's see if we can hit that. $38.99.50. All right, so we're absorbing 3,900 now. If that breaks, we're going to 39.05. Beautiful. Beautiful. And poof. Nope, not yet. Not poof. We're about to. It's grinding. It's not rejecting 3,900 yet. It's grinding up against it. It's grinding up against it. If we pop this thing, 39.05. Now, careful looking for a continuation through that because there's no liquidity unless they start adding. XLF is about to recover up to 39.15. I'm about to get an alert. And we're going. There's pre-market levels. And there it is, XLF going up. You can hear the bing. Bing bong. So there's pre-market levels. Now watch out for rejection. There's no liquidity above here on Bookmap. They're not putting anything on. A little bit of 39.05. Yeah, they do have it 39.50 and 40, definitely. But they need to get through this stuff first, and there's nothing. Like, I would want to see liquidity being added upwards if this is going to turn into a smoke trend update here. And of course, keep an eye on financials. Tesla's still straight up. Amazon, Apple, all of them still straight up. And I'm just scalping some 3900s here. Boom, big green. All right, now they got 39.10. Now they got 39.10. Now we're going. Watch for XLF. XLF is going. I'm still scalping 3900s here. 39.10. All right, so XLF is still climbing here. Watch. Now, see? This is why I monitor XLF, because XLF was holding down the S&P. Now that XLF is rolling around with tech, now the S&P is going, baby. Now the S&P is going. 39.10's above us. Now watch out for 39.17. They added 39.27 here. So they're adding liquidity at 39.27, and now we're squeezing. And now we're squeezing. And now they're selling it. Just kidding. $39.07. Watch out for 39.10. I'm still looking for a considerable add in liquidity above 39.10. Right now, there's still nothing except for 39.50 and 40. So that's what I'm looking for. Nice. Took those XLE calls. Who else took them XLE calls? I know someone else did. Well done. Well done. So that's right off of, didn't quite get to R3. They put a large node, huge node of liquidity at 39.03. So if the bulls want to get above this level, it has to happen now. This is now like the 18th freaking test of 3900. This is like 3900, 3910 range. There is a bunch of liquidity at 39.50 and 40. With tech being up this much, the buyers have to defend and move this up. Otherwise, we're just going to be another range day. Still scalping 3900s. I don't know, Damon. Right now, there's a good amount. That was a huge uptick in buy volume. I don't know if they are going to reject this back down. I don't know. So just be careful. We'll see. I'm just trying to shake y'all out from bias. That's it. I'm trying to tell y'all to remove that bias. 3900 is strong. But we just closed a candle over 3900. So this candle is important, this next candle. What can it do? 3906.75. Watch for XLF here too. Back building. If 3910 breaks, we'll probably go to 20. It's got to get there though. Amazon's broke new highs. So now my eyes are still on XLF. Apple, Amazon, Tesla just put in new highs. So now my eyes are on XLF. Can XLF maintain this rally? What are the bonds doing? Where's Joe? Joe's controlling the bonds. Tell Joe to do something with the bonds. So now we're dead flat here on the bonds. Bonds aren't moving. XLY, new high of the day. Here comes another test at 39.10 on ES. Still scalping 3900s. Still holding positions. We got 3900 up. And here's another test. And now we're squeezing. We take out 39. All right, this liquidity is grinding now the 39.10 level. Keep an eye on there. No, we haven't absorbed 39.10 yet. It's still there. We're right up against it right now. So what really drove home the bullish sentiment there is that huge uptick in buy volume. So the buyers stepped in. This wasn't a low volume rally. The buyer stepped in and brought this thing up. That is the market open levels of volume right there. So that's why I'm telling you, be careful looking for a reversal here until we see it. Especially with tech doing this crap. Tech is absolutely screaming at the moment. $39.07. All right. Still holding. They're still holding this candle green. Saw it on TradingView. We still have now the open interest, or the liquidity is increasing at 39.10 on TradingView, on Bookmap. Top wick. We're not quite to R3 yet. They got levels at liquidity at 39.03 and 39.10 at the moment. Yeah, so uptick in buy volume and price action. Those are the two things. And then XLF was the big denominator there. So I set those alerts. I think it was like 39.04 or 32.04 and the 32.10 and whatever it was. And the second I start to hear those go off, ding, ding, I'm like, all right, XLF is rotating along with tech. And tech is screaming. Tech has been very strong. So market awareness, baby. That was a market awareness trade right there. XLF really drove home the entry on my scalps. VIX is falling off here 24. I'm sure Justin is looking to take some calls, myself included, once that comes off a little bit. With this green day, if we break 39.10 and start turning into a trend, this has potential to get the VIX all the way down to where we want it, and possibly up to 39.20 here on ES, because this is still holding. Amazon new highs. Tech is still screaming. $39.10. Now again, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Don't let them dangle the carrot in front of your face. Now Amazon's still screaming. As long as tech is still doing this, as long as XLF's still going up, we may break here, but don't let them dangle the carrot just above 39.10 and have you reaching for it. Nice, Merca. Now what I'm doing here is, as we're grinding at 39.10, I'm slowly reducing some positions. I'm slowly reducing positions because I don't want them to dangle the carrot. And as the longer we stay here, the more positions I'm going to reduce, just in case they come down. Now XLF just popped back up again. I have an alert set at 32.25. If that breaks, we will pop 39.10. But you have to be careful. Another top wick. Two successful scalps exceeded my daily goal. Nice. This is 3 minutes, Divian. 3 minute. 39.10 still main liquidity. Now they put on 39.09. So there's a very large amount of liquidity at 10 and 09. So it's going to take a pop in buy volume to get through there. So what I'm looking for on, if you're looking at YouTube, watching the YouTube, what I'm looking for is a large green absorption candle on Bookmap. I want a big old candle that's bigger than the others. I'm sorry, not a bubble, not a candle. Same thing. Absorb that 39.10. Boom. See that? That's what I was looking for. And here's a second one. So now they're taking out 39.10. 39.10's gone, which means we may squeeze here. So there's two big green bubbles I was looking for, and boom, we go higher. Absorption, baby. That's absorption 101. And the market's your professor. 39.10. Now where are we going? Now there's no liquidity, so it's like, what are they going to do? Squeeze us upwards to 39.40? So this is weird. Like, I don't know, like 39.03 is the only thing we got. I'm still holding the 3,900 scalps, and they're going. We may get that trader. I think I might be on, hey, 39.20. They just put on 39.20, so I'm still holding these babies. XLF is coming back up. Everything is absolutely in squeeze mode at the moment. So watch out. We got 39.20. Pop those bubbles. I hope you all saw those bubbles I was looking for there. That's exactly it. That worked perfectly. I was looking for it, and they gave it to us. Market makers are a little generous today. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yep. Well, we need to do our due diligence here and make sure we're monitoring the entire book map because there's nothing above us now except a large level at 40 and 50, and now they're putting on some at 39.20 here. But we have to make sure we're maintaining market awareness. They're also putting on 38.98. So this is very strong. This is an uptick in buy volume, so this is very strong for the bulls. All of tech is going nuts here. Amazon just put in a new high. Amazon is only 26 cents away from breaking even. XLF is green here too, so keep an eye on XLF. So I'm going to set smoke alarms on XLF and to the upside and downside because I want to monitor rotation. Here we got another punch, 39.13, trying to go for 39.20. Big squeeze. Kurt's still holding the 3,900 calls. Let's go, baby. Still holding them. Let's go. VIX is below 25. Yeah, 24.93. Does a volume profile work with SPX? No, because there is no volume on SPX, remember. SPX, there is no volume. If you look in TradingView, they do offer... If you look in TradingView, they do offer volume on SPX, but it's not actual volume. It's a calculation. Nice, Mohammed. Well done. All right, so first red, the first strong red candle we've had there, and they still have 39.20 on. So that right there. That right there was a textbook market awareness play with Bookmap and with XLF showing what we needed to see. We were able to get into a nice trade and go up. So beautiful. 3,900 they just took off, or at least reduced. They still have 39.05 and 3,900. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. And just like that, the downside on the July puts are paid for me. So every day, the loss, whatever loss I see on that swing put, as long as I'm paying for it, we'll got to go from there. All right, XLF coming on back on. $39.09. So they've added 17, they've added 20. Beautiful. Do I work with covered puts and calls? No. I do a lot of credit spreads and debit spreads, just not, I don't do covered puts and calls. Can you say it again about the July put position? All right, so me, when I hold swing positions, yeah, when I hold swing positions, obviously, right now, I've only legged into this thing twice, so it's still a relatively small position size. Obviously, they're in the red because we've gone up for like 40, 100, 4,000 days in a row. So the red amount I see on my daily chart. You have to remember, I don't care. I could care less about my transactional win rate. I don't care about it. I care about the daily win rate. How many green days can I grind out? And then obviously, I want the red days, not, I don't want the red days to overcome the green days. Yeah, it's another conversation. So as long as on the daily P&L, so if that position is open dead and say it's down, I don't know, $1,000, I want to make sure I make more than $1,000 that day to cover that position. Next day, if it's down another 1,000, I want to make sure I make another 1,000 to cover that day's loss, whatever. And I continually pay for that trade. Now I'm still in the runners for the 3,900. I still want to pay for that trade every day. Now there is a point where I'm like, all right, I'm done fighting this. I'm going to close it out, and we are nearing that point. We're getting close to that point. If we go up to 39.50 today, I'll reanalyze the situation. I do think that there's a potential we could have entered too short of strikes or too close of expirations. So we may have should have looked at to the mid-August time frame, which, you can't win them all. I'm still in the position, though. One sec, I have to answer a phone call. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. So now we're kind of just picking up against here, 39, 17, 20. They're building at 25. They're actually starting to build a little bit at 30. So they are building us higher. And the bulls are doing a great job of defending these candles. I'm not seeing any huge sell-offs, reversals. We actually plowed through the big resistance there, so that's fine. Yeah, so still holding the 3,900 runners. Nice. Close 100%. Anybody else take those XLE calls? Yeah, that was a beautiful play. I'm telling you, man, XLE always. Talking about V recoveries, XLE is the king of V recovery. King of V recovery. Especially in this high-priced volume or energy market at the moment. Someone sold a huge deep in the money credit spread on Tesla at 1020. Interesting. They sold an in-the-money credit spread on Tesla. Strikes 535. Making that make profits. Institutional players, like the institutional players, run the market. They run the market. So if you see an increase of buy volume, that's not a bunch of retail traders all of a sudden hitting buy button at the same time. It's institutional investors. It's the algorithms. They're the ones that move the market this much. Retail market is not going to move ES 40 points. So when I see an increase of volume and then breaking through key levels, that is they, quote unquote they. So how do you know if it's retail or big whales? Volume candles. You're not going to see a gigantic spike in volume and it be retail. Retail is not going to come close to moving the market. That's why when you chop sideways and we have very boring, poor action, that's because the institutional investors have stepped out and now it's just retail just like scalping against each other. If somebody took a deep in the money call credit spread on Tesla, obviously that is quite bearish. They're expecting that, but that would be a phenomenally huge crash of Tesla within 7 days. What triggers the algorithms? They trigger the algorithms. They set their rules on their algorithms. They set their parameters, their code, and they program those things. So when they see whatever setup or whatever rules or whatever it is they want to see, they turn them on. And then when that rule is broken, they turn them off. It's computer trading. Is Bookmap a must? No, nothing's a must. No tool is a must. The only thing that is a must is price and volume analysis. That's it. And market awareness and that stuff. But in terms of a tool, nothing's a must. However, Bookmap is phenomenally helpful. It's incredibly helpful. I'm still hanging on to the 3,900 runners. So, with a large node at 39.03, I'm curious to see how high they're going to bring this baby. I heard an opinion that these days the volume is hidden. What we see on TradingView is only a small part of the picture. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't know what noise that was, but that's certainly possible. You never know. I'm sure we don't see. I mean, that's why you have to monitor dark pool and all that stuff. But it's certainly possible. But there's nothing we can do about that. JP Morgan says rebound to 4,900 in 2022. I'd like to see the official comment by them if that's the case. Correct, Vandal. Well, I monitor ES and SPY, but I trade contracts on SPX, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Damien, is that there's a colossal amount of open interest in a very low block of puts dated for early to mid-August. If you go back and look at all the contracts between early and mid-August, go look at all the open interest in SPX 3,300, 3,400, SPY 330, 340, ton. So that's why I was saying I think we may have chosen too short of a strike on our puts. We may be right, we just timed it too early. Which is inherently, obviously, timing is everything on options. All right. So that's a nice little rotate there to 39.06. Apple's rounding back over there. Amazon and Tesla are trying to, but what the alarm? The alarm scared you? Nice, Larry. Do you think we'll come down next week? I don't know. It all depends on the data. What's your perfect risk reward ratio? Same the next week in and out of the money. Yeah, it depends. It all depends on the setup. You know, it's everything. You have to play on your toes in this market. Be very dynamic. All right, now I closed out my runners. Runners are out. No position, except the swings, obviously. And there's a play there. %. Nice, Michael. Awesome stuff. So 3,900. They just cleared a lot of that liquidity above us. They've got 3,900 on. And here's what this looks like on Bookmap. Right there. Bam. Whatever happened to live viewing you doing scalps like that? I know you talked about. Well, that's the intent of the one of the features for the tier 2 room that were added. Is like every Wednesday we're doing a live trading session. I'm screaming on YouTube. Yeah, I posted the link to the YouTube. Hold on a second. Here. Oh, you're talking about yeah. So I tried doing it on Discord, but there's too many people. I think it's limited to like 25 or something like that. So unless they've since changed it, but all right, let's take a look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq has got 12,162, 12,220, 12,250 above us here too. So definitely pointing higher in Nasdaq here too, and we're bouncing again off 3,900. There's no such thing as a stupid question, except Neos. I like it. How come I put my food in the microwave in 100 seconds and it dropped to 59? I love it. I do, Harold. Yep, I covered all. Covered all. Yeah, we got 570 people watching. You don't mind, hit that like button. Get the YouTube algorithms to crank up a little bit. Get people watching. Appreciate that. When should one start looking into futures trading? Oh man, futures trading is a double-edged sword. It's a different type of trading. I'm a much better options trader than I'm a futures trader. I joke about Lee Rat with that all the time. It's funny how different, how better of an options trader I am than futures. Primarily because a majority of my trading of futures comes in pre-market, which is a different style of trading than trading during the market hours. Pre-market trading is primarily driven by computers, and it's at particular levels. If you are trading futures, you need to understand the risk that comes with them. And there are some numbers I'll kind of throw out there. Approximately 20 grand for MES, give or take, and then 50, at least 50 for ES, and that's only one contract of ES, because ES can smoke your dinner. So, I don't know. Maybe it's worth putting on a 39.50 YOLO for the end of the day. What do you think? Like one contract. What is a 39.50 going for right now? 90 cents. 90 cents. Get that WSB out of here. Yeah. Come on, bro. You got a full port 39.50s, man. Come on. This is it. This is the play, bro. I'm just kidding. 2.7 on the account. Nice, VK. Is it bra or bruh? Which one? I don't know. Completely joking, by the way, for the new people. Don't do that. You're welcome, Dennis. Well done. That's well done. That's a killer win right there, Dennis. Awesome. Do I like trading options more on individual names or ES? I prefer, obviously, I mean, SPX is my bread and butter. I love trading contracts on SPX. Love it. All right, so we're right back to 39.12. We got 39.20. Looking to go higher here. I'm going to bring up 39.20 contracts. 39.20 contracts right now. Currently going for $6.30 each. Why SPX versus SPY? It's a big conversation, Kevin. Big conversaciones. They've got liquidity being put on up to 39.30, and then 39.40 is starting to become closer and closer. Closer and closer. There's a lot of reasons why. There's a whole bunch of reasons why. Bottom line, if you're going to trade to forward SPX, you need to be trading SPX over SPY. There's too many pros. Commissions, Section 1256, taxes, no assignment risk, cash settled. I do have a YouTube video on it. I made one a long time ago about the, because a lot of people were wondering why SPX over SPY. So I highly recommend it. It's in my educational series channel. What's your thoughts on SPY at the moment? It looks like we're going higher. Apple's coming back up. Keep an eye on XLF. I've got 3920 calls up and ready. Futures after dark with Lee-Rat. Yeah, he can do it. That dude's killing trades. Killing it. I do at or outside. I never do in. Well, most of 99.9% of the time I do in, never do out in the money. It's always at or outside. Less confidence I have, closer to the money I get. The more confidence I have, the further away from the money I get. I'm not in any position at the moment except the swings from the other day, but right now I just have 3920s up here. Nice, Ad Astra. So right up against R3. We can't break R3, which, by the way, levels this week have been on point, man. A beautiful respect of these levels. Or would you start considering adding another leg? Right now, I'm kind of thinking about rolling these positions. Well, not rolling, but closing, which you can see is the same exact thing, just wordage. Closing and opening a August, mid-August put. We'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking right now. All over the place. All mid-August. August 19th, August 16th. We can take a look. Let's go into the option chain and look. Let's go look. So let's go mid-months. What's the difference between rolling and closing open options? Nothing. Same thing. It's just they call it rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. All right, we got mid-month contract. We have a large open interest at 3,300 for mid-month August. That's too low. $3,300 has a ton. I mean, all over. You look at nearly every expiration in August. There's a ton of open interest at 3,300. All the mid stuff. I'm glad, Nathan. So the next catalyst we got here is UK close in 23 minutes. Terribler. Yeah. I use limit orders, never market. Just came across the channel, notice you're using Bookmap. Yep. I think about using it for options also. Can you tell me quick pros and cons? Pros. Oh, hey, by the way, they just put on a huge level of 39.30. Pros, you're able to monitor live liquidity in the market. So it tells you what the market is thinking. You know, tells you the orders that are coming on and off in a live state, which is great because that's what we want to do. In addition to our chart analysis, in addition to monitoring volume, price action, we want to see what the market is thinking real time, and that's what it does. It's awesome. A con is that they could, it could be spoofing, or they could dangle a carrot in front of you. So like they could throw up a large level at 39.15, and they want us to kind of reach above that and come on down. However, the more you're aware of it, the less of a con that is. As long as you play cautiously, then you can circumvent that and not worry so much about that. What time do I stream usually? Anywhere between, I usually end the stream somewhere around 11:30 to 12 Eastern time. Why do I screenshot? I posted in the Discord. All right, XLF is going up, and now we're squeezing back up. 39.17. And we just broke through 39.16. Man, we're really going hard now. Look at that. So XLF is coming up here too. And I think we're going to 39.30. Where's SPX? Right there. So big green up to 39.18. Green across the board on financials. So that's bringing us up. Apple new high of the day. Amazon almost new high of the day. Trying to. Trying to. Oh, man. So I just made a big mistake, but I actually made money on it. I tried to take calls. I was about to call them out, and I accidentally took puts. And I ended up making like 2% on them. So close out of that position. Sorry, I went quiet for there. I was scrambling. All right, so now I'm looking at 39.25 calls. Freaking E-Trade. Yeah, absolutely I have oof moments. So they're building in that 39.30, which I'd like to see. If I'm looking for these big levels here, which are weekly levels, I want to make sure I'm seeing stuff that's newly added just under it. If there's nothing here and just these, I'd be cautious on taking calls at the 39.50.40. I want to look at these levels here. VPA is the way. Nice blaze. 264%. Well done. $348. I think somewhere 348, 350. Do you have them memorized? No. So, Monday, Tuesday, when I'm zooming out, I want to look at the levels that are widespread and monitor those because I don't want to get sucked into looking at those weekly levels on a single day because people are like, oh, there's a ton of volume at 39.50, and they say that when we're down to like 3,800. It's like, yeah, that's true, but look at the long spread. I want to look at the stuff they're putting on close to kind of see where they're going to tip us and go that way. I'm thinking about it. I actually have 39.25 calls up now. 25. How much do you typically let an option go before you stop out? It depends. It all depends on the expiration, the strike, the day. Depends on all that. Man, I should have held those 39.20 puts. Dang, that'd been nice. $39.10. And they got 3,900 here. We are 15 minutes away from UK, so that's always going to throw in some volatility there. Let's see what they're doing right now. Same thing we're doing, basically. So German market's got a double top going on, and UK does as well, so we'll see how they handle that. Nice big red all the way down to the 8. I use the UK 100 and the DEU 40. Does theta of a 0 DTE affect when you exit long positions? What do you mean? Man, awesome stuff, context. 170%. Well done. I'm with you, Justin. I'm with you. $39.13.75. So I've got the 39.25 calls up here, seeing if we can take an entry and look for a move upwards if they bounce us here. But 39.10 is currently just below us. They've currently got 3,900. I've already exceeded the profits I was expecting today. I've already gotten more out of today than I expected, so everything else is gravy, is icing on the cake, man. Icing on the cake. Seeing what we can do. So R3, we're bouncing off R3 at the moment. And that's this right here, this little level. Off of it, NASDAQ gone a touch higher. We do have that divergence that we had has now closed, so now the 0.20 and 0.27 on NASDAQ, so that's pretty tight. That's what I want to see, tight, tight, tight. And then Bookmap here has got 39.07. Should have held that accidental put, man. That'd have been nice, real nice. I think would have been up like 40% right now. Yeah, I know, Rob. It would have. It would have. Yeah, I know. I know, Robert. It is funny. Should he get out of calls? What position is it? Go out for lunch, be back for power. Nice, Damien. The 0 days, 391 calls. Uh, I mean, I still am of the opinion that we're going to go higher. I'll say that. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your positions, but I'm currently looking for a call entry back higher. And then if I see things breaking down, mainly XLF and maybe the major tech stocks, then I'll look at playing puts. Can you speak to how you determine when to enter calls? Are you waiting for dynamic break higher or pulling back to a level? For this one, I'm looking for a break of key levels, extension away from those levels, and then the volume. So, not to mention, for one thing, I'm monitoring 5 different charts at the moment, and if I see that action, the one thing is the tech is obviously grinding higher, and so I'm making sure that happens. And then the XLF is going to really give the S&P the push higher it needs to kind of come up with the S&P, which is what I was seeing. This morning, the Nasdaq was a little bit higher from a percentage gain than the S&P because the XLF was holding everything down. And once I saw that rotate, that's when I started taking those calls and be like, all right, now we're going back up. So the first thing I'm doing is monitoring everything that I can in the market to tell me where this thing is going to go. That is going to be your best indicator. There's not going to be a single line you could draw on your chart, a single calculation or anything that's going to be able to give you enough heads up of a play than the market itself. So monitor as much as you can. As long as you're monitoring, you're being very intentional with what you monitor. Mr. Hana, calling me out. I like it. I'm just going by based on what I see here at 39.30 level. There's nothing below and everything's above. Do you use pre-market hours when looking at the charts or just regular session? I do include pre-market hours. I want to bring as much data as I can. We have 9 minutes until UK closes. Be prepared for a little bit of influx volatility right at 10:30 or 11:30 Eastern. So the kids really wanted to try Whataburger last week, and because we recently just had one open up in our town, and I've had it before, being in Texas, and I always thought it was awful. I thought Whataburger was absolutely god awful. But the kids wanted to try it because it's a new place in town, so we tried it, a couple of days ago, and it was still very awful. It was awful. And the kids are looking at us like, why did we get this? Like, it tastes like cardboard. I was like, yeah, it's Whataburger. It's awful. I have no idea why we wanted to bring a Whataburger to this town. It's terrible. I'd love to have an In-N-Out. In fact, I looked at why does In-N-Out not expand eastward? It's because of logistics. Because all their products are made fresh, their meat's never frozen, so they cannot expand and maintain that level of quality. So he said, like even the CEO, the owner of In-N-Out, says they can't move just because they have to maintain that quality assurance, and they can't move east. I was like, man, do you know how much money they would make if they opened one out east? It's incredible. Yeah, it's still a private company. Yeah. Any recommendations for options books? I don't recommend a necessary book about how to trade options except the one I'm writing. Be on the lookout, FY23. But hedge fund market wizards is the biggest one for high level macro trading. You've got volume price analysis, complete guide to volume price analysis for technical analysis on the charts. But I don't have one that's specifically for options trading. Oh yeah, absolutely, Lee, right? I cook my own burgers too, and they are dynamite. Dynamite. Trading in the zone's great too. Yeah, for the mentality. Cookout has the best burger. Cookout does have good burgers, but it literally tastes like you bought it from a cookout, like your neighbor's cookout. I guess that's what they call it, cookout. Thinking of doing an audiobook version? I'll have to get if I can get Morgan Freeman to narrate the book, yeah. And this is where he took a call. Little did he know he was about to be reversed. That's my best Morgan Freeman impression. That's all I got. I'm sorry. That's all I got. Oh, thanks, Toku. Peter Griffin narration might be a nice touch. I can do that. Yeah, I just heard it for Freckle. Adam Sandler. Goggins, yeah. I've eaten camel burger. Interesting. All right. Amazon, new high of the day. Apple about to put in a new high. Can they break through 39.20? What signal am I looking for here? I'm looking for volume. The volume that we had earlier is now gone. Obviously, we may squeeze a little higher here. Amazon's going here, and I'm also looking to see if XLF can bring us higher. I have not seen Hustle yet, no. I don't get to watch much TV lately. Pretty busy. All right. Going up. No, In-N-Out Burger's a real thing, for sure. 39.25s are currently trading for $7 a piece. We're currently at 39.20. And we're trying to grind up here, and I think we may do it against 39.20. Bam, pop. That's a big old absorption right there. Wow. Nice. Nice, Superfly. Well done. Red candle right after it. So with a lower volume, this is what you have to be afraid of. You see how on the SPY you have these candles here, increase volume, and then you get 1, 2, 3 follow-on candles. But then when the volume tricks back off, you've got this. You got a green candle followed by a red. And obviously this one hasn't closed yet, so we'll see. But you don't get that flow, the natural waterfall flow, or the reverse waterfall, I guess. That huge rocket explosion because the volume's not here yet. We get the grind. Now we may eventually, the volume may come back in and go bleep. But right now. Yeah, I just don't trade Qs. Like I focus so much on the S&P, and if I ever see a huge divergence, then yeah, I'll look at playing the Qs. But I don't trade. Don't fix what ain't broke. And right now my system ain't broke, so I'm gonna keep on riding it. And If I see the need to switch to playing Qs or at least add more Qs, then I will do that. Yes, Superfly. That's true. Any tips to fill sell and buy orders better? Don't be greedy. Because here's what happens. Here's the trap you fall into. You have a winning position and you bring up your order form to sell, and you see the bid, you see the mid, you see the ask, the bid, mid, ask. You see that nice fat little premium sitting at the ask. You're like, that's what you want. As a seller, that's what you want. You want the ask. So she's like, all right, I want the sell, and then the position keeps going, and you see the ask get higher and higher because the position keeps going in your favor, and you keep trying to get filled in the ask. You keep trying to get filled in the ask. Keep trying to get filled in the ask, and all you're doing is playing hopscotch with yourself. You're just setting your cost above where it's going instead of just like, all right, well, I want to take this here, and then the price never actually hits your ask. It reverses and comes back down, and you missed a fill because you're trying to go for the ask constantly. So if I'm chasing the ask like that, that's an indication to me that I'm being greedy and I need to get out of the position. If I continually chase the ask, I don't want to do that. So I'll do it once or twice, let the position climb into my profitability zone, and then I'm looking to get out at the bid. So you can't be greedy and chase the ask. You got to go for the bid, and then eventually do that. Now, if you're buying a position, don't chase the bid. It's the other way around. Because if you chase the bid, you're going to miss an entry because the position is going to drop. If you're looking for calls, for example, you're going to be chasing the bid to get as cheap price as you can. So the bid's going to go down and down and down as the price falls on a call. And you're going to try to chase the bid, then it's going to bounce and go higher, and you never got to fill in the bid. So still, always for me, I want to look at the mid price. And then if I need to pay the ask or I need to sell at the bid, I will. But the overarching theme is don't be greedy. Get what you get. It depends on price action, Sparrow. How long did it take you to become profitable again after the blow up? About 3 years to be consistently profitable. Do you always try to enter at the mid? It depends. It depends. That's the goal is to always strike at the mid. That's the goal. But it all depends on the price action. If I'm desperate to get in, I'll enter at the ask. I'll just pay the ask and pay it. I'll hit the ask and pay it. And how that happens is, let's say the S&P is dead flat chopping, while tech is kind of climbing, and then I see a huge pop in the XLF before the S&P recognizes it. I'll hit the ask and I'll pay it. Click ask, pay it, because I'm desperate to get in that position. I want to get in a call there. If I'm trying to be very precise because I have an unknown and I think the market's not going to move and I'm just trying to scalp a small coin, a small candle, then I'll look at paying the mid of the bid even. It all depends. VIX is now 2487, yeah. Yes. Yes. In fact, you frequently see price movement around about 7 o'clock Eastern or 8 o'clock Eastern when the pre-market opens for Asia, and PM. That's 8 p.m. Eastern, and roughly 3 p.m. Eastern or 3 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, we're riding up the 8. So they just put on 39.10 below us, and they're starting to put on 38.95. But they do have 30. I think 39.30. I think is definitely in the cards. Your take on scalping shares versus options? I used to scalp shares. Options are going to pay far more than scalping shares. But obviously, you're not going to deal with theta. Nice. I mean, yeah. So that's definitely what you want to do. Reduce your position sizes. That's the number one thing I could teach you all is position sizes keep you safe. I do, Mike. I do. Yeah, take a look at the theta channel. I don't play very many of them these days, but I do try. I added. I think I traded one last week or two of them last week. About time for TLT calls. Man, TLT's been tumultuous lately. It's been up and down hard, all over the place. Are you still surprised Tesla's where it's at? Well, let's take a look at Tesla because they have been doing some crazy stuff lately. Even today has been nuts. I mean, Tesla went from 650 and they spiked and haven't stopped, and now they're 764. So they went over a 100-point move in 1, 2, 3. Today's the fourth day of that rally. So crazy stuff. I'm still finding a way to correlate the SPY and ES levels. So if you look at the market analysis channel, I put a conversion value in there. So you convert here. In fact, I'll edit it to where it's got the actual equation. So if you want to take it, it's SPY times 10 plus. So there's the equation. I just posted in the market analysis. And same for the other one. And that's how you derive, that's how you get from SPY to SPX or ES. Any promo code for the Discord? Nope, I don't have a promo code right now. The website's down in the description of the video as well as the Discord server. Did something change? I can't seem to go back a bit and listen again. No, everything should be good. Nice, Michael, 65%. Well done. Well done. All right, so 8 minutes ago, the UK market closed. We have a little red here coming off from 39.22 to 16. Tesla split is coming up, I believe, or at least they voted on it. Yeah. All right, coming back down to R3, and then 3910 is levels liquidity. They built in 3900, and they're building in 3895. And here's what I think about the current 3500 puts. We need about an 85 to 95 point move down to bring these things back to profitability, give or take. In the big scheme of things, that's nothing if we get the downside that we're looking for. So that's your thesis. Do you think next week we'll have at least 90 points of downside, or do you think we're going to trade flat or up? That's the thing. If you think that we're not going down next week, then you need to close your 3500 puts, regardless of what I do. I build them manually every day, Peterman. Made $15 after a month of nothing but losses. Nice, Mish. Well done. What's for lunch today? I don't know. I don't know yet. XLF rounded back over. Got a little weakness coming into the market here. Little weakness. Watch out for 38.95. Not Whataburger. Definitely no. I'm definitely hungry. Definitely haven't had lunch since yesterday. I'll give this a few more minutes here, and we'll call that a morning. See if we can get some moves, but we'll see. XLF is still rounding over. Tech is still kind of holding on. Let's take a look at the tech stocks here. Apple, 148 is the largest level. Microsoft is 270. Currently 267. Amazon is all upwards. I'm sorry, Tesla is, and Amazon has got 120, 126 with a huge level of 100. Facebook is pointing lower. What about second breakfast? That's right. When scalping options, when do you go from zeros to ones? If I truly don't have much confidence in the price action, or if it's the last hour of the day, I'll go to ones. Or, for example, if I want to take a larger position size, even if I am confident, I'll go with ones. So if I want to juice up the position size a little bit, I'll always extend the expiration date. How do you rebuild your confidence after being beat up by the market? Small position sizes. That's it. Cut them down. Extend your expirations. Go longer at expiration and cut your position sizes down. So you see less movement. Yes, you're going to yield less profit doing that, but you need to be able to build in some slop for you to regain your confidence. Give yourself more margin for error by extending your expirations and reducing your position sizes. Yeah, XLF ain't moving at all. How often do I take positions pre-market? Quite often, but it's always futures. But again, I'm a far better trader, option trader, than I am a futures trader. That's why I don't really talk about it too much. If I see something high conviction, I'll post it. But I lost 17K in the beginning of the year and realized my issue was sizing. I've been paper trading ever since with Wealthmore. There you go. Well, that day's coming, Lee Rat. It may not come this year. It may not come next year, but it's coming. Of a low VIX environment, and then we'll be doing primarily swing positions and theta credit spreads. We won't be doing very many scalps. All right, 39.10 liquidity, right there, and R3. They did remove 39.22. They also removed a lot of 39.27. They have 39.10, 3900, and 38.95, and now they're actually building at 38.85 with large liquidity. But 39.10 is still the first goal. Oh, nice, Mitch. I appreciate that. Thanks for supporting the community with Super Chat. Thank you very much. How difficult is this year comparing to the others? I mean, it's much more difficult it's exponentially more difficult than 20 and 21. But it's also left a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money very quickly. Got some more red coming down. Here's 39.10. And they're about to absorb 10, and there is 39.10 absorbed. Maybe 3900 now. There's a big old red right there. So, all right, like so he took out the 39.10 level, and now it looks like maybe 3900. A little bit of a refresh here. XLF coming on back down here. Apple's dropping. Amazon's dropping. There's R2. And they got liquidity at 3,900. Yeah, right through the 34. Well, the good thing, Matthew, is that you're learning in a very difficult environment. You know, it's been very difficult. And it requires being keen on your awareness for reversals and for bounces. Because there's been a lot of bullish and bearish flow. Yeah, just be careful taking puts on Tesla. They're in squeeze mode. When was the last time the market was easy? 2021. And then December, things changed. Sorry, Mr. Hana. Didn't understand what's wrong there. Hammer's bullish. Yeah, so look, that is a hammer candle that you saw right there. But the overall volume is still light there. And then of course there's three parts to the hammer candles. You've got the price action, you've got the volume, you've got the follow on. Those are the three things we always talk about. So you had the hammer candle, we had still low volume, and the next candle was immediately red. So that's the issue. And the hammer candle by itself doesn't mean reversal. You got to have the other two. $2021. Yeah, I mean, all of 20 and 21. You buy a call, you sit back and you relax, man. It was just straight up. That monetary policy was still cooking, and then it started to die off. And then December happened, and we had that tumultuous nature, and then January, and then bam, down. Yep. The follow-up candle is crucial because you have them. There's three parts. You see the candle, so that's the first thing you see. Then I go to the volume. That's the second thing I see. Then I see the follow-on candle, which is the third thing. Now, sometimes, you want to jump in on that hammer candle, especially if you're on a downside candle. And that's the thing. Playing breakouts is the most difficult trade out of all of them because breakouts occasionally fail. So, and that right there is a breakout trade. Playing that hammer candle at the top of a range is a breakout trade. Because usually on a breakout trade like that, you're entering into supply zones. So you take a call on a hammer, and then it gets reversed. I did not see the fall coming right there. No, I didn't. Although I played a lot of puts on the way down. We made we made fantastic money all throughout the winter and the spring, but I didn't pinpoint it to the top. I mean, that's hard to do. If you do, you got lucky. There was a guy that pinpointed the top with longing futures. He pinpointed in the bad way in here a couple months ago. Yeah, if you use the up and down arrows on your keyboard for trading view, you could scale. You could go through your watch list. Yeah, I don't get wrapped up on all that. I didn't pinpoint it, and I still made a ton of money in January, February, and March. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not trying to pinpoint the bottom or pinpoint the top. I'm trying to play what I see and make money. That's it. All right, y'all. Well, I'm going to call that a morning. It's 12 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to go grab me some lunch. We're going to come back on for the afternoon. We'll come back on. Hopefully we get a little volatility pick up. Now, we are, after a very strong green week, we're coming up on the end of the week, obviously, in the last couple of hours, and we're approaching a very tumultuous week ahead. We have Wednesday as CPI, all eyes on CPI. Is this a smash the inflation rage up to 4,200 a week, or is this going to be, hey, final nail in the coffin, we go to 3,300 and go forth? So we'll see. That's a morning session, though. That's a wrap. A couple of good plays, a lot of good conversation. Hope y'all learned something about how that execution on the book map and the XLF awareness was textbook. I hope you saw that. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll be back on for this afternoon. If you are in the YouTube, use the links in the description to join the website and the Discord server. Come over and hang out with us. And we'll do our afternoon stream in the Discord only. So y'all take it easy. I'm out. See ya.